Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from in the world. Welcome, welcome. It's Nifty Dreams here in the house talking about art and tech. It is Friday, and my name is Rachel Wilkins, and I am joined by the awesome Nik Kalyani. Good morning, Nik. How are you this morning?
I am great. How are you, Rachel?
I'm good. I got a cup of black coffee here. Do you have your chai?
Got my chai. I'm good.
Awesome. Let us know in the comments, folks. What is your morning beverage of choice? Delicious. All right, so we every Friday we meet to talk about all things art and tech, break down subjects that we think are important for you to know. One of the things I just want to touch on really quick before we jump into this is it can be a lot. And I know for artists are often doing all of the things like marketing and social media, as well as making time to create your artwork. So, what we want to do is really just condense the knowledge into these bite sized kind of 45-minute sessions so that you can kind of learn as you go and not get overwhelmed or bogged down in the details. So, today, we're going to talk about something that might sound a little scary, but it's not because we've got Nik with us over here. We've got Nik with us, who is the tech brain of Silicon Valley and obviously the founder of Nifty Dreams. So, Nik, we're going to throw out the word staking, and we're not talking about those kind of sirloin things that you have in a restaurant. What is staking?
All right. That's a really good question. I think it's important for people to sort of have some context first. So, what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about fungible tokens first, because, like artists mostly live in a world of non fungible tokens, and the staking concept really applies to fungible tokens. So, it's important to understand those. So, in addition to ETH, which is the native cryptocurrency of the Ethereum blockchain, there's many different tokens available. All those tokens are created by individuals, projects, etc., that want to create an interesting scenario where people can use their custom cryptocurrency called tokens to do all kinds of amazing things. So, for example, ENS has a token that is associated with your Ethereum name. USDC is a stable coin. It's a token that's always equal to $1. ApeCoin is a token that is associated with the Bored Ape brand. So those are all custom tokens, and those are called fungible tokens because unlike NFTs, they are all the same, and one fungible token is no different from another fungible token. So now that you have these tokens, what do you do with them? Well, obviously you can send and receive them to your friends and for business and so on and so forth. But it gets more interesting when those tokens are used in scenarios like, for example, in a game to buy in-game assets, or for example, on a creator platform where you pay with those tokens to unlock premium content and things like that. Uh, but the bigger use case that has far sort of uh, outstripped all other use cases is DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance. And in decentralized finance, you might have heard of terms like Uniswap, etc. That's where these tokens really start to become interesting, because you can use these tokens to essentially create more wealth for yourself. So, how does that work? Well, one of the ways to do that is staking. And as the name suggests, you stake something. Now, if you think about games like poker or other card games like that, when you start the game, there's something called table stakes, right? You got to put up some money in order to even play the game. So
So, like,
staking.
you're anteing in essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. So this staking is a familiar term for anyone who's played any kind of casino games like that, because it's like, what do you put up? So in the world of cryptocurrency, staking is similar in that you take your tokens and you put them into reserve. We might also know this in the real world as a term called escrow. Like you put those tokens aside. So when you put those tokens aside, there's two things that happen, and there's really two sides of the equation. The first side of the equation is that of all the tokens that are in circulation of that particular type, your stake is now out of circulation. So what happens? Well, the remaining ones become slightly more valuable because yours are no longer available, right? They're out of circulation. So that's point number one. On the other side of the equation, your tokens have now entered into some kind of scenario where you might be able to earn more money. And how is that? Well, in for most tokens, what the token creators do is if you stake your tokens, they have a pool of tokens set aside from which you generally get an interest. It's you're earning money from this pool of tokens for helping the entire token ecosystem by putting yours out of circulation. So this is essentially the concept of staking, where you put your tokens out of circulation. Now, I talked about getting income, but there's other reasons to stake also. For example, let's say that there is a vote scheduled for something, like to vote on the best piece of art or something like that, and the voting period lasts a week. So what you might do is, instead of having people cast a single vote, you might have them stake tokens, and the number of tokens you stake indicates the size of your vote. So if there are multiple entries to choose from, everyone stakes a certain number of tokens, and the one with the most tokens is the winner. And then after the voting is done, you take your tokens back. So you can see how tokens act like casino chips, act like beads in elementary school. They are a way in which you can do all kinds of things when you stake them, and this is really, really interesting.
Is
So
there, Nick, just real quick, is there a time commitment in terms of how long you're locked in when you stake?
yeah, that will vary by contract, Rachel, because it depends on what the goal is. So, for example, if you're supposed to earn interest, if you will, then you're required to have them locked for a certain period of time. And what that period is going to be scenario dependent. Because if you just stake, unstake, stake, unstake, then it really defeats the whole purpose of getting those tokens out of circulation. And this concept of getting tokens out of circulation is kind of important, because let's say that you have a cryptocurrency with, for the sake of comprehension, let's say 1 million tokens out there, right? And if enough people stake, and let's say we get a 100,000 out of circulation, the remaining 900,000 are worth way more. And this is really important. It's a complicated concept to wrap your brain around, but if scarcity is the name of the game, and staking makes those remaining tokens more scarce, and so that's important.
So many questions coming in, and well, I'm assuming there's so many questions from this topic. But folks, if you are here, please do jump in with any questions that you have. There is no such thing as a stupid question, so this is the time and the place to ask if you're unsure about anything that we're talking about today. So, Nik, talk about staking in terms of what we're doing here at Nifty Dreams. Like, what is coming down the pipeline? What can people get excited about?
Well, yeah, this is super exciting because as you know, and most of the people hopefully watching know, that if you get a Dreamers Mint Pass, then as a one-time deal only, you are going to be airdrop tokens. So we just wrapped up a promotion where people got a bunch of tokens as a result, and even now, if you get a Mint Pass, you get 870 tokens airdrop to you. So those are Nifty D tokens. Those are the tokens that's going to be the native cryptocurrency for the Nifty Dreams DAO. Now, those tokens that you get, that are granted to you, that are airdropped to you, are going to be locked for 1 year. Which, why is that? It's important to understand why is that. It's, if we just flood the market with tokens, what's going to happen is, people are, first of all, they can't really trade them because they need to be liquid. Like, someone needs to provide the liquidity on Uniswap, etc. And if that's not there, then you can't exchange your tokens anyway. But more importantly, we want to work on the DAO. We want to build value, right? So the more valuable the DAO is, the more valuable the token becomes. So if we wait a little bit and hodl, as they call it, then that token is more valuable. Now, what we want is to make sure that the people who are actually buying the Mint Pass immediately start getting some value out of it. So what we want to do is, when you have those 870 tokens in this case, or more if you were in the earlier promotion, those are locked. You can't withdraw them, etc. But they are going to be auto staked for you. What that means is you do nothing. When that airdrop happens, those tokens are staked for you, and you are going to start earning token income every month. Actually, every week, every second, you're going to start earning tokens. Those tokens are going to be unlocked. They are going to be liquid because the DAO is going to provide liquidity on Uniswap. And this assumes, I'm just going to give a caveat here, that our drop continues to go well and we are able to raise capital, because I just want to be always transparent about these things. Liquidity means putting money out there, and if we don't raise the right amount of money, then we can't do that. But if we do, and we get the support of this community, then what we have done is already created a new income stream for artists that didn't exist until that day. So this is why that mint pass is super important for artists, because right now they are listing their artwork on marketplaces and waiting, and no income happening. Just merely by getting into this drop right now, they're going to have an income stream begin immediately with Nifty tokens. Now, artists might choose to flip those, but I feel like it would be in their interest to hang on to them, because those tokens, we're going to work to make them super valuable. But the key thing is that your tokens will be auto staked. You can also manually stake them, and when you do, the DAO is going to give you an income every at regular intervals.
So how would that look in kind of, when you say give you income, like would it be a quarterly thing that occurs where people earn their staked, or is it just going to be something that is continuously gaining in value?
Yeah, we are working through those details, but generally, the way this works is you have periods and an APY, and annual percentage yield. So what we'll do is say that early on, the APY is going to be higher, so you earn a higher percentage. Then in the next period, it's going to drop a bit more. In the next period, it's going to drop a bit more, because the number of tokens that we have for rewards for stakers is finite, right? It's not infinite. So if it was infinite, then it would be worthless, which would not be very good. So initially, the people who jump in now are going to get the highest APY, and so they'll earn sort of the most tokens, and then later it'll be lesser and lesser. In terms of how often you get it, we'll make it so you can withdraw it as often as you want. There's no constraint. The beauty of smart contracts, Rachel, is it's programmable money. In the real world, we have to wait for periods like a week, a month, a quarter, etc. With smart contracts, it's per second. So you can withdraw, like if you want one token, if you want to, you can withdraw that. You pay a lot of gas, but it's real time. There is no sort of period at which point you can only get it, etc.
Can you think of any projects or or DAOs even that have done this successfully that we can use as like an example? Maybe something like ApeCoin. Like, is that an example where they've been able to create liquidity?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that like Uniswap, etc. They have LP tokens, liquidity provider tokens, and you stake them. There's also Looks Rare, where you can go and stake your tokens, and you then are eligible to get a percentage of all the artwork sales that occur on the platform. So staking is fairly well established now as a way to create well, do two things. One is get a community together, because it does do that, and two is to create ongoing income for all those participating. So our mission, let's go back to our mission. Our mission is to make sure that every artist can have an income that helps them sustain themselves. And so we're going to start off small with what we can control, which is our tokens, and we'll start there, and then we'll go from there. And as the DAO picks up steam and gets value and has more and more artists and more outside entities participate, those tokens are going to become more valuable, and therefore even the small amounts that you're earning could end up being a meaningful income for you.
Especially, if you're somewhere in the world where the token is worth a lot more than your kind of staple economy, uh, that could be life changing
Oh
money.
yeah, absolutely.
So a couple questions. What we talk about, the DAO needing to be liquid in order to make this a success. We know from as a team what needs to happen on the back end in terms of who we need to bring in, larger. I don't want to say investors because that's not the word. Benefactors.
Yeah.
But what can the artists be doing? Because we have 1,000 artists in now, which is incredible, right? 1,000 artists have said yes to this concept. What can artists be doing to like really help to make this a success? Because we got a small army here of
Yeah,
artists. What can they do to help this mission?
absolutely. And we are counting on these artists to help us because we still need to get these 9,000 additional artists on board. So our drop is in two steps. So the first step is getting like these artists on board. So 10,000 artists, which is our community, our peeps. And the next step is to reach out to benefactors and raise the larger 5.5 million that we have planned on. All our dreams are dependent on both steps occurring successfully. So, right now, what artists need to do is to go talk to other artists who are not yet on board and help them understand. This is a really important point, Rachel. Many artists ask the simple question: will they help me sell? Will the DAO help me sell? But that's the wrong question to be asking because it's very short sighted. It's like looking at your current income. We are talking about a life sustaining income, not an income of one sale of one photo or one artwork or two artworks or whatever. So I think it's important that artists right now who are already dreamers counter this notion with their friends, with their buddies, other artists in the ecosystem, that thinking very short sighted about your current sale is not what the DAO is about. And to become a dreamer is signing on to a bigger vision. And bigger visions are not about overnight success. We are not. We are there for a sustainable long time. In fact, I tell everyone, I think of the business plan as a 100-year business plan. And I'm very serious when I say that because we're thinking long term. We're talking about creating generational wealth. That does not happen when you start thinking about how do I get an artist to make one sale. However, that said, we are realists, right, Rachel? And so we do think like that. And in terms of making sure that, okay, if people need a little bit of help right now, let's give it to them. And so we've got something great planned. And I think you're the best person to talk about it.
Yes, we do. So next week we can actually announce this. I just want to preface this by saying they're doing construction work and there's all kinds of crazy noises around me. So if you hear anything crazy, I apologize. So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to have a marketing workshop by yours truly. And I think Nik will be making a guest appearance in there as well. So it's a marketing workshop that's going to be 90 minutes long. For those who don't know me, I'll be leading the workshop. I have been teaching marketing, branding, selling to artists for over a decade. I've worked with 8,000 artists. I've helped launch several six-figure careers in my career. I'm also teaching at the New Museum as a dedicated mentor, and I've spoken at a variety of different universities. You don't need to know all of my track record, but I'm here to help you. And it's going to be free for dreamers. So if you are a dreamer, you have full access to this class. If you are not a dreamer, I'm going to say you probably want to get this pass ASAP because this is limited to dreamers only. And it's going to be next Thursday, I believe, 11 a.m. Eastern. I think we can confirm the time, but there will be some more information about that coming out today. And we're just really excited to be able to actually help you with this piece, right, Nik? It's an important piece.
It is a very important piece. And I want, we set this up to put at rest the question that artists have about what will the DAO do for me right now. And I understand that people are more concerned about right now because they're hurting right now. And the longer term vision is great. They're like, okay, I'll be on board, but I need help right now. And so we are realists, and so we want to provide this because I know for a fact that a lot of artists are struggling when it comes to how do I price my artwork, how do I market it, what do I do, like that question there's threads, there's hundreds of Twitter threads about this. And so we are going to just tackle that authoritatively and with experience, right? We're going to give people very professional advice that would otherwise cost them thousands of dollars for free because they have got a mint pass. So if you're an artist out there, and this session itself is worth its weight in gold for you. I mean, it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be knowledge that you really want. And so we're gonna start that off. But we want to help everyone succeed in this space. And so we talked about staking as an income source, but this marketing workshop we are doing is very tangible. You are going to get, at minimum, I would say 3 tips, but you're going to get a lot more than that. And you're going to implement these tools and techniques right away and make a difference, because it's a very crowded market. Everyone knows that, right? How do you rise above and how do you get noticed? Well, you have to do what the professionals know and can teach you, and that's you, Rachel. You're going to teach them exactly what to do. Now, I have a pretty strong sales background. I've taken startups from zero to their first $1 million and then on to the first 5 million. And there's a few things I've learned about selling, because at the end of the day, you're marketing to get the audience there, the collectors there, but you still have to sell to them. And I'm seeing a lot of artists not using the tools at their disposal. They are creators. They can do a very effective job of selling, but they are not doing that. And I want to help them unleash that potential about how to sell effectively once you've got a collector's attention. So those are the kinds of things that we can, share and get people results right away. So yeah, coming back to we are there to provide resources for artists. That's the existence of that defines the existence of the DAO. And we start off with this marketing workshop. But Rachel, I haven't even told you or the rest of the team, the product team, we've been conspiring, and we've got some interesting tools for artists in the pipeline. And maybe next week when we do this, I can share about a really, really great tool for artists to combat some of the big problems that they're having in this space.
Oh my gosh, I'm very excited. I've been privy to like a little bit of behind the scenes in terms of the creative tools that are coming for you guys, and I am like excited to get my hands on them just as an artist. So I cannot wait for you to see what we're building behind the scenes. So I'm kind of like just seeing everything come together here, and I think we're all very passionate about building the big picture, right? What is the global solution to help artists become more financially empowered, more successful, more respected? And that is a long-term goal, right? That's going to take work. It's going to take a change of mindset. It's going to take belief in each other and the greater good. But then also we want to really tackle the immediate problems as well. Like, what is right in front of us? Like, what can we do right this second to make this community just thrive, right? And I think some of the most effective things that we can do are teach you actionable steps that you can go out and do like that day, like small wins, and then kind of build upon that as we go. So I think you're going to see, and I'm putting this out there. We have not had a discussion, but I think you're going to see some more programming like this from us over the next several months. Maybe we'll bring in some experts. Maybe we'll bring in some artists that have had, multi-million-dollar success. I think that would be a great way for us as a community to learn what works and what doesn't. So yeah, this is, for $25 for the year, guys, it's exceptional. And I say that as somebody who's been building in the art world for over a decade. There's a lot of people talking the talk out there. There's a lot of people making promises, but what I see from this team, and when I say team, we are a DAO, but the team that has got us to where we are right now, we were calling ourselves the Renaissance team. It's just an incredibly talented, professional group of people who all believe in you, right? We believe in artists. And I think that's the most important part of, and I think anybody who knows Nik knows, first of all, how much Nik has invested in this community. Like, if you go look at Nik's wallets, there's a lot of artwork in there. He's been collecting and collecting and collecting. But it's just, if nothing else, it's the fact that we believe that this is possible, right? And it just takes a couple of really, engaged people and a belief, and I think we can do great things together.
Absolutely. I think what's been missing in this space is collaboration, just going at it together. Everyone's fighting that same battle individually. We just fight it together and we will get results. I mean, I am 100% confident in that. You talk about the current problems, right? Like one huge problem that artists have right now is discovery. Well, guess what? The DAO is already getting noticed. How easy would it be for us to make our dreamers discoverable? Pretty easy. And guess what? We're going to do that. So those are the kinds of steps that we're going to take, that together we can do in a very potent way. But individually it's really hard for artists. So we're going to start this charge. And I think it's okay if a lot of artists are skeptical and still, regardless of the price point, etc., are still like, oh, I'm going to wait. They can do that. But here's the thing, Rachel, there's a cap. There's 10,000. And after that, you cannot avail of these benefits. You will be a member of the DAO because it is absolutely free and open to everyone. But there are going to be certain resources we provide that are going to be for our early supporters. You showed faith and trust in us. You rose to the challenge, and we are going to give it right back at you, and give you resources and give you tools to support your journey. So I'm excited to do that. And I honestly, like every waking hour, and there's a lot of those, I'm thinking about how can I create things, or what ideas can we do to implement now to benefit our community of artists. And I am so excited because my DMs now, I can't keep up with them. I know there's a bunch of people in the audience already who have sent me DMs with ideas. They're sending so many ideas. I'm like, yes, great, I want to do everything, but we have to kind of stage things, right? Do them in a structured way. But I can't wait. This weekend we are gonna get finally all the guild leads on board. That means there's gonna be an explosion in the team. There's gonna be way more people. We've been doing the Wednesday town halls. We've been introducing the advisors, and I don't know if people have gone and checked out their profiles, but these are some high quality people. They are really well known in the art ecosystem, and we're gonna leverage their networks, and we're gonna grow this DAO pretty fast. So I'm super excited.
It's incredible, some of the people that are coming through, even just who's coming on the advisory board. Like, that is going to be a game changing, just in terms of the reach that we have. So one of the things that I think is like a mental reset, if you will, that I think we all need to have as creatives, is this idea that there's only enough space for one of us at the table, right? This idea that there's this small group of collectors and we have to get to them before anybody else. I think we have to open up our minds and think more abundantly. I think with the DAO, the more people that are in the DAO, the more, if we get to 10,000, there's 10,000 creators there. Somebody is going to do something really outstanding, and it could be you, right? That is going to benefit the entire ecosystem of artists. Nik, you've talked about the DAO almost being like a Silicon Valley incubator, right? In that people are all working towards creating something great, and the few that do benefit the entire ecosystem. Do you want to kind of lean into that a little bit more, and perhaps what that might look like in this environment?
Absolutely, yeah. So the DAO is all about experimentation and innovation. Innovation does not happen without experimentation. You have to be prepared to take a leap of faith and be prepared to fail in order to succeed. And we are all on board with that. So a lot of people who are not familiar with DAOs think that this project is a marketplace. It's not. It is definitely not that. What we want to do is identify new ways to monetize your artwork, because marketplaces are saturated. And I did a tweet thread about that just last night. Um, so how are we going to help artists make money at scale? Well, what we are going to do is have a number of projects, each of them with a goal to identify how NFT art can be monetized. So the incubator model is about having lots of experiments running in parallel, because we don't know if one of those will succeed or fail or just be mediocre. If we try just one experiment, you have to put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. And if it fails, then we are doomed. We can't take that risk. So, what we want to do is hedge our bets. And what we want to do is have as many projects as reasonable that have a good chance of success. We fund those, we support those, we nurture those. So some of those are going to be ours. We are going to work like everything is ours, but when I say ours, I mean the DAO is going to manage those. Some of them are going to be artist led. So because we as innovate, one thing about innovation is you never know where it's going to come from. So I know that somewhere in this audience of artists is someone with a brilliant idea that could be the key to unlocking monetization at scale for everybody else. Well, we want to take that person and we want to help them. We want to give them money and we want to give them resources, marketing, product development, technology, PR, design, all of those resources, and say, all right, let's see what you got, and help them find what we call product market fit, which is essentially put their product out there and see if it can be successful. So the idea of this DAO being an incubator is really, really important, because finally we have a collective of people who are focused on finding ways to innovate for the larger economy of artists. And so that's going to be us. We're going to make this happen. There, you know, when you are creating a business or even in life, one of the most important things to do is to create multiple pathways to success. If you have orchestrated your life in a way that there are multiple pathways to success, guess what? You cannot fail. So that's what we are doing. We are creating multiple pathways to success so that if one pathway is a dead end, fails, it doesn't matter. We got all these others to explore. One of those is all we need to succeed.
I feel like 5 years, 10 years, maybe even 2 years from now, we as creatives are going to look back and go, I can't believe we were so obsessed with getting that one sale. Right,
Yes.
that one collector, that one sale, because it's going to be so much broader, and I don't think we can even conceive what this is going to become. I don't even think we'll be talking about the word NFT, right?
Yes.
It's going to be something much broader, much more just something we can't even wrap our minds around yet, but it's coming and we're going to be doing it together. We're going to be at the forefront because we are going to have such brilliant minds, brilliant resources. So we're going to be leading, kind of blazing the trail here for artists, and you're all coming on this journey with us, and we're going to listen to you and hear you and take on board what your feedback is, and you'll be voting on the decisions as dreamers. So we won't be doing the voting. You will be determining exactly where we take this and the projects that we fund. And to me, that is it's extremely exciting to see it all start to come together.
Yeah, Rachel, you bring up a good point. Right now we are obsessed with the term NFT, but I take you back to the early days of the dot-com explosion of websites, etc. We would categorize and call websites by what they were, like a portal. A portal was the common term there. No one uses that term anymore. Now it's, what is the application? What is the utility? What is the usefulness of a website, right? It's like that. NFT is not even going to be in our vernacular. It's going to be just about the art and how it is impacting. It's going to be about the experiential aspect of that art, about the emotional aspect of the art, about the utility of that art. And it just happens to be that it is tokenized on the blockchain, and that's going to be changing that mind shift, because right now the tech is the focus. And we don't talk about Amazon in terms of what database it uses. We just go click and buy something. We have no idea what's happening in the background. We need to get to that. And with this NFT space right now, we are so obsessed with gas fees and Ethereum and NFT and all that. And as a technologist, I feel that is the worst UX possible, because you want people to be talking about what's useful about it and how it can benefit you versus what is the technology. So hopefully we can make that fade away into the background as quickly as possible so that the benefits of it start surfacing. And that's what we'll do for art with the DAO.
I think exactly what you said, Nik. Like, once we stop talking about the technology and start talking about the experiences as we experience them as humans, the impact that they have on our lives, then we're gonna see change.
It's going to be a big unlock.
It is. So why don't we take some questions? Because I see that the chat is popping. Thank you everybody for being here. We're so excited to hang out with you. So I'm going to go back in the chat because there was some great questions coming through. Everybody's all about that long-term thinking.
Yeah, and Rachel, I did tweet that the best question gets a Dreamer Mint Pass.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to let you decide which is the best question.
Okay, no pressure. All right, let's see. We are going to go. Hello, everybody. I see a lot of folks joining us from India. Hello, friends. Let's see. Is there potential risk from staking long term, except the liquidity risk? Good question.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Okay, maybe it is intended to be this way. When you stake, you're locking your tokens for a certain amount of time. So if that time is very, very large, then you might miss out on the opportunity to perhaps sell at the time that you had planned on selling. So I guess that would be the risk. In fact, that's the only risk I can see, is that you cannot use your tokens for another purpose while they are staked if the lock period is fixed duration. So that would be the only risk. So anyone who purchases the Dreamer NFT will receive the 870 tokens. Yes, indeed.
Right.
This is a one-time thing because this is our launch, and there's a airdrop. And if you have the Dreamer NFT Mint Pass, you will receive the 870 tokens. We are working very hard to get the token contract in place. We have to make sure it's secure, audited, etc. But very quickly, we're going to do that, and you will have your tokens.
What do you think in terms of a realistic timeline of getting this in people's wallets?
Within this month, for sure.
Amazing. All right. How about this? After 10K Dreamer was sold, can anybody buy the tokens on the market? If so, will they gain voting rights or only staking percentage? I think this is up there with the great questions.
Yeah. So the question is, we have to make sure that people understand that there's two things here. The Dreamer NFT is a governance NFT. You have to have that to vote on DAO decisions. Nifty D token is a fungible token, and it's basically just money. It's right. It has no voting rights whatsoever. So the tokens that will be available to people right now, the Nifty D tokens, they'll be airdropped. And like I said, the airdrop tokens are going to be locked for a year. But there are tokens that are being earned by people. So if you are a contributor in the DAO, then you're earning tokens. Those are liquid. The tokens you get as earning from staking, those are liquid. So those tokens you can go and sell on Uniswap, where we will be providing liquidity. So that's where people will be able to buy tokens. There is no other place where people can buy Nifty D tokens. The DAO is never, as of yet, no plans to sell Nifty D tokens to the public. So, okay. Oh yeah, Fools with Dreams. I love their music.
Amazing. Awesome. I love that we're bringing more musicians in as well. And I think we have a broader plan to really expand the type of artists that we bring in. And I think that can only benefit the greater good of the community. It's going to make the community more rich. It's going to make the community more diverse. And I think it gives opportunity for collaboration between the different types of art as well. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, and Rachel, one of the things I want to do is I'll just write a reminder to myself here to actually do a dedicated space with musicians, and so Fools with Dreams, we'll reach out and get a couple other musicians and do a space just for that, because yeah, absolutely, we want to make sure music is front and center also.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, we agree. We've got an amazing set of advisors.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about them, and I look forward to, as we make some of these strategic decisions, we already get insights from them, and that's really great. I mean, that's the whole point of having advisors, is they put the wealth of knowledge that they have. I think combined we probably have like 200 years of of knowledge and experience in our advisory guild at this point.
And also, I mean, we should talk about the value of the reach that some of these people have, the impact and influence that some of our advisors have. We have people with hundreds of thousands of followers that are on our advisory board. So I think it's going to play out in a way that can only be beneficial to this audience.
Yep,
Uh,
absolutely.
this from Fools with Dreams. I love this stat. We like some stats around here. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, currently we are top number 3 creator in the Indian NFT platform. With Nifty Dreams, we together have better chance of getting known in the ETH space and grow worldwide. Absolutely, we're going to make that happen. I'm
Yep.
excited to do that. Um, I'm a big supporter of musicians. I love music, and yeah, absolutely, going to work on that.
So somebody has a question here about gas on OpenSea. Nik, just take a minute to look at this, and then maybe we can talk about what we are looking at in terms of marketplaces and how obviously that's not something that's coming right away, but what the plan is for that.
Yeah. So, we are going to support artists on current marketplaces as much as possible. We are also going to support marketplaces that are emergent, that are more open and more decentralized. The problem with the current marketplaces are that they are centralized marketplaces, OpenSea, Foundation, etc. They can do whatever they want to. And we want to encourage our marketplaces that are more decentralized. So we are supporting a couple of them, and we might look into creating our own, but that would be sort of a stretch goal, because running a marketplace is no easy task. It's a lot of work, etc. And I find it would be better for the DAO to identify those marketplaces that work well and partner with them and help drive the direction to something that is fair and open for artists, especially artist friends in countries like Cuba, Iran, etc., that are subject to regulations, which unfortunately are a fact of life if you want to play in the global economy. But that doesn't mean that they have to be treated unfairly. There's a way to use decentralization to our advantage. So this question in particular, can dreamers mint for free on OpenSea? I mint yesterday on Ethereum for the first time and no gas fee paid. All right, so this, I'm not sure how that happened or what happened. Keep in mind that OpenSea is a lazy minting platform. So after you've created your collection, you don't actually pay for minting. The minting happens when a sale occurs, and that's when the fee is paid. It's paid as part of the sale transaction. So if you're able to mint for free on OpenSea, it's because you're experiencing the lazy minting. It has really nothing to do with the Dreamer NFT.
So this is a great question about the guilds. How is that going to look for folks who want to get involved and actually participate in specific guilds?
Yeah. So right now, the contributors app form is the way to go. And I know a lot of you have signed up. I saw about 200 signups. It's been a bit slow, I will admit, in getting that kicked off, but we are accelerating that process. We had to get this launch done, etc. So that consumed all our time. But now we are focusing more on getting the guild going. So in terms of how do you get into the Ambassadors Guild, we already have several regional guilds set up, but we'll also have a general sort of a global guild where people who are in regions of the world where there's not yet a big impact of NFTs, but still want to get the few people together, like Theo here. So we will support you. We will provide you with, the resources you need in order to get your meetups, etc., done. So you're very much in my thoughts about in terms of the Ambassadors Guild. So not to worry, we will be reaching out to you.
Amazing. Let's take a couple more. We're going to cap at 45 minutes, but this person has four passes and wants to run a giveaway.
Yeah, that's great. You can run a giveaway, but in terms of the tokens go to whichever account is holding the pass. It's not who held the pass at any given time. So if you want to grab those tokens, then you will have to wait on your giveaway until the airdrop is done before you transfer your pass. And yeah, that's or you could just give it away and let the other person have the token, I guess.
So this is an important question, and I'm going to yell out to these people. There are a bunch of people who are on this mint list who have not yet grabbed their Dreamer mint pass. If you are watching this and you are on that list, go mint your pass, being on that list does not make you eligible for voting. It does not make you eligible for the marketing workshop we're going to do next week. It does not bring you into this community to be able to participate in some of the things that we're talking about. So please, please, please take that action. Nik?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you look at other sort of project drops, etc., a lot of them have this pre-mint phase, and then you mint. But I think, in the artist community, they're still getting accustomed and understanding a little bit about crypto. So a lot of them did think that registering was the minting. But I hope, the same messaging that got to them gets to them again, and they actually go to the URL that's in the banner here, mint.niftydreams.com, and actually mint their pass, because if they don't do that, they are not going to be eligible for all these benefits. And yeah, so we definitely need to get the word out. And the comment you posted by Noshad, he's an amazing community advocate here. He's providing a great deal of support for us, helping us promote things, etc. So shout out to you, Nishad. You are just an incredible person, and we are really, really happy to have you. The work you're doing is incredible, and not only is the work you're doing incredible, but you're also highlighting concerns and providing solutions, which is great. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
We appreciate you, Nushad. Thank you. So one more question here, which is a great one. We are a group of artists. We've got 5 passes. However, we have around 13 artists. Should we mint one for each, as there is a mint limit per wallet?
Yeah, we put that in place to act as sort of an artificial impediment to having one person come and just take a lot of them and essentially get the vote. We are totally aware that you can have multiple accounts and do that, but in this case you actually do need multiple accounts, because if you are going to delegate them to multiple people, then you're going to need a pass for them. So if you have 5 mint passes, you would have to pass them around to the other ones, and then I guess you would need 8 more to be able to satisfy each one having at least one.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to squeeze in one more question because it's another good one. What if after a year, as you said, the token will be staked and will give some percentage? Will that be even after the year, or till how long do we keep the Dreamer NFT? So people are paying the $25 to have the Dreamer Pass for a year, and their tokens are staked for a year. So what happens at that 12-month mark?
All right. So I'm going to repeat again. Dreamer NFT, voting. One NFT that gives you access to DAO resources, etc. NiftyD tokens, airdropped, totally separate. That's what you use for staking. The two have no connection whatsoever. So if your NiftyD tokens, when you stake them, you lock them for a certain period of time. They will be auto locked for a year, and after that they will vest over a period of 2 years, and so you'll be able to start withdrawing them. So that's the story with the NiftyD tokens. With the Dreamer NFT, 11 months into this, we will have a renewal period for all the holders. You get the chance to renew it first. In that renewal period, if you don't renew, your pass expires, and someone else can come and buy a new Dreamer NFT, and they become part. There's only 10,000. There's always going to be only 10,000 of those, right? So that means that if you do not renew during the renew period, you lose all the benefits that you had, and someone else can get all those benefits. So that's how that works.
So say somebody comes in 12 months from now and buys the Dreamer Pass for year 2. Do they still get tokens at that point?
That will depend on the DAO, because right now we don't have any plans to airdrop tokens in subsequent years. This is a one-time launch thing. But the beauty of the DAO is everyone, the dreamers, can vote on how they want that to be done. Right now, there's no plan for that.
So that is another incentive to act fast, right? Get those tokens in your wallets, start staking, start earning those tokens. Yeah, There's a reason to act quickly, folks, and I think Nick has summarized it today.
Yeah, Rachel, just think about it this way, right? We are working hard to make that token valuable.
Mhm.
It will be completely unfair to all the people in the DAO who have worked to make it valuable if we do a free airdrop of those tokens in the future. That doesn't make any practical sense. So right now is the only time in the DAO's history where you're going to get airdrop tokens for free. If in the future you ever get tokens airdropped, it's because it's going to be a small amount for some marketing promotion. You're going to get like a very tiny number amount for that, but you're not going to get tokens at this scale, a total of 8.7 million of them. Actually, more because we just did the promotion. So almost 12 million at this point for free, cost nothing, So that is never happening again.
Amazing. All right, Nick, was there any question that stood out for you?
Um, I think there was a staking. There were two. There was a staking question that was interesting, and I think the renewal question was also a good one. But what about you? Which one stood out for you?
Yeah, I think GRR had two good questions, so I think that's where we should. I think GRR should win the the Freeman Pass.
Okay, so GRR, type in your comments your Twitter handle so we can DM you and get you information to send you stuff. So we'll wait to see your comment, GRR, with your tweet handle.
While we do that, there's another question that's just come in from Parry. Hi, Parry. What is the renewal cost for per dreamer after 1 year?
We don't know that right now because the DAO will make that decision, but we believe it's going to be higher than the $25
Yeah,
because the the thing is right now we want to make it attractive for the early supporters to get on board, but later on once the DAO is established, uh, we certainly don't want to create impediments for artists, but we also want to be fair, and so it'll be slightly higher. But again, the DAO, the current Dreamer holders, will vote on what that should be. And you know what? It's entirely possible that the current Dreamers say that, you know what, we want every artist to be able to have that, so it's going to be zero. Okay, well, that's the beauty of a DAO. We can make those decisions. But yeah, GRR, we saw your comment, but we are looking for your Twitter handle, so please do share that. Yeah, thanks.
yeah. Let us know in the comments. Okay, so Nick, takeaways for folks. Staking.
Staking is a new benefit that we have announced for the NiftyD tokens that you're going to get airdropped. So if you feel like, oh, I'm getting these tokens, but they are locked for 1 year, well, guess what? You're going to make money during that 1 year. You are going to get an income from the staked tokens. So even without lifting a finger, without selling an artwork, just by minting that pass, you are going to have an income for the foreseeable future.
Amazing. All right, so we're going to ask you, GRR, to send us a DM with your Twitter handle so we can make sure that you get that free Mint Pass. And I think that's it from us for today. Each Friday, you can find Nick and I here talking all things art and tech. If you have a subject that's tech related that you want us to talk about, be sure to check in with our team. Send us a DM, reach out to us on any of the social media platforms. We would love to hear from you. And Nick, any final thoughts as we go into the weekend?
Well, I'm just super excited that we continue to get Dreamer signups. I always knew that it would be a slow process. We've crossed 1,000 Dreamers at this point, which is which actually already starts putting us into one of the larger DAOs territory. But we're not going to stop. We're going to get to that 10,000 mark. We're going to work our way there. All the artists who are already on board, you got to go tell 2 or 3 more artists who are not yet on board to get on and help them understand the benefits. It's not about one sale. And yeah, so thank you for your support, and dream on and dream big.
You heard it here, folks. Dream on, dream big, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.